Michael, I've been married. For the first 7 years of my marriage, I kept on saying sorry to everything. Right? My wife would say, clean up your mess. You know what I'd say to her? I'm sorry. She didn't believe me. But I could say it in 17 different languages. I was great at it, Michael. It was fantastic. You know why sorry doesn't work? It only infuriates them. Because first of all, it describes my state of being, not her circumstance. And you know what? People don't believe you when you say I'm sorry. Because it's the recovery that counts. Number 2, I apologise. Better than I'm sorry, but still not good. Mm-hmm. Because it's a bit weak, it addresses the customer's circumstances, but it sort of may be viewed as being insincere. The excuse, no one cares.
If you got it wrong, you got it wrong.
No one cares. You know, I worked for Harvey Norman. You know, I used to get customer complaints all the time because when they got to me, they were amazingly big problems. And in all my experience, the issue has always been not the problem, but how the problem was handled. And one of the key issues that we always had is salespeople had excuses. You know what the classic excuse was? Oh, I didn't sell you the product. That's someone else's problem. They're not working today. You'll have to come back tomorrow. You didn't buy it at our store. You've got to go and travel 42 kilometres to go back to the store you bought it from. Now, come on, who cares? You took my money. Fix the problem and fix it now. Next one, blaming someone else. Exactly like the excuse. Now, here's a doozy. This is what you're not to do. Don't cite company policy. Now, I realise the need for policies. Don't get me wrong. I don't want you to feel that you've got to be rebellious in the way you do business. I recognise the need for policy, but what infuriates a customer is to be cited company policy as a legitimate use of power to stop me talking. We've all had the experience, haven't we? Have you had the experience?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mate, big companies, we won't name them, but we can all probably come, okay? And we get on the phone and they say, it's not our company policy. How do you feel? Appalling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't do it. Next one, sorry about that. When you say that, what does it really mean?
Yeah, well, in your boot.
Yeah. Yeah. Next one, thinking who cares. If you're now thinking, I don't really care about my customers, leave your job. It's not right for you. Next one, thank you. Thank you is an amazingly good response to handling a customer complaint. Why? Because the only way we can really improve our business is by listening to our irate customers, because sometimes their frustration can actually lead to ways that we can improve our business. But the classic for me, the best way that I have seen to address a cranky customer, and this is what I use, and I have a certain personality, so you've got to be comfortable with your own personality, is the statement, oh, that's horrible. Now, when it's done sincerely, not flattery, it is very powerful. Because what I'm doing is that I, as an employee, are more concerned about the problem than you are. You start to say to me, Tony, it's not that bad. I say, yes, it is. What happens there is that we're starting to work on the same team. That's the power of saying, oh, that's horrible. Now, if I give the listeners 4 really simple steps on how to address a cranky customers, this is what they are. Step number 1 is you've got to build a connection with the cranky customer. You've actually got to have empathy for their problem, not sympathy. Sympathy means, oh, I'm talking down to you. Empathy means I understand your problem. Mm-hmm. Now, never, never, never say that you're wrong. Say we apologise for the inconvenience. Now, once you've got empathy and you say, oh, that's horrible, here is the key step number 2. Listen. Let them talk. And then you have to ask them, is there anything else? So you just got to make sure that once they've actually sort of said, this is my problem, you've addressed it back to them in their language. You've actually said, is there anything else before we address this issue?
Okay, step number 4.
Step number 4 is resolve the issue. Now, you don't have to resolve the issue on the spot, but you actually have to give them a commitment of what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it. And the key here is to under-promise and over-deliver. That is so important. And the key here is to manage their time expectations. That is so important. See, a lot of people say, oh, we'll deliver it to you in 5 to 7 days. Now, you're the consumer. What did you hear?
That I'll get it in...
How many days?
5.
5. You know, I'm the supplier. You know when I have to deliver it to you? In 7. We have a problem, don't we? That's why you have to have precise and absolute communication. Don't say 5 to 7 days. Say, Michael, your new lounge suite will be delivered in 7 working days. That's really precise, isn't it? You're not going to phone me on the 5th day, are you?
Not if you've said 7.
But if I've said 5 to 7, I reckon you'll be on the phone at 5 days.
Yes.
And I'm going, no, you've got to wait till 7 days. Yeah. What are we doing? We're taking inbound phone calls that disrupt my productivity. It's insane. Don't do it.
But if you can deliver in 4, you're...
If you deliver in 4, you've just created a memorable experience and just created a raving fan. And this is what I also would like for the listeners to understand. If you have the opportunity, build some fat. If you have the opportunity of managing the customer's expectations, and if you know that you can deliver a product in 2 days' time, don't say 2 days' time, say 3 days' time. Because then they'll get it in 2 days' time, they'll go, wow, that was extraordinary. Of all the companies I've ever done business with, no one has ever delivered a product on time. You have. You have just created a walking, talking, word-of-mouth advertisement for your entire business. That is worth its weight in gold.